boom, you're done with it.
Right.
But like in his case, I mean, he's got 3 felonies that are $10,000 bonds each, and then he has a revocation from his first arrest, which I am very proud to have been a part of that whole process. My own little piece in it, but you know, that's a $20,000 bond that he has on that. And the thing about it too is, as shitty of a person as he is, and as shitty of a group of people, that whole group of people, it really brought a lot of people, especially in like our GC that we have, it really brought us together tight. Some of the stuff that he does is crazy. With me, it's not necessarily just what he does, it's how fast he does it. All I'm gonna say is that 20% of the time it works 100% of the time.
He's been through it and now just super chill.
I'm not a huge fan of commercialized music.
Yeah.
I think it's...
Any of the bands that I like the songs that aren't ever played on the radio. Welcome back to the He's Wrong, She's Right podcast. I'm Andrew. This is Nona. We are your lovely married hosts. And this is our guest who actually didn't even ask you if I could say your name. Can I say your name on here?
We'll just go with the...
Okay. Triple Z Music?
Absolutely.
All right.
As always.
There we go. So today we're talking about the Captain Ralph Avalon and some of the things that he did to ensure people in Western North Carolina were screwed over as best as he could.
He did a pretty good number on it.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait for the final demise of Ralph. And I will say we've noticed some, well, we'll get into it a little bit later on, but you know, there's some opportunities to do some very, very fine trolling with Mr. Avalon as he currently sits locked up in Palm Beach County, Florida. So it's going to be fun.
Let's see. So are all of his charges state level charges, or are there any federal level?
So right now they're state. They do have the possibility of going federal, just because it's mainly defrauding a bank, fake notes being passed, fake, bad checks and stuff like that. So there's a possibility it could go to a federal level at some point, but that's going to be up to a state federal prosecutor whether or not they want to go that route.
So I didn't even realize that he was still. I mean, how often have you ever heard of somebody being arrested and then not? No matter what level of crime or like their notoriety, I've almost never heard somebody not bailing out these days. It just seems like...
Well, it depends, really. I mean, because if you're talking about something like a signature bond, then yeah, I mean, you're just walking in and saying, okay, yeah, I'm on bond right now. Let me go ahead and sign this piece of paper. Boom, you're done with it.
Right.
But like in his case, I mean, he's got 3 felonies that are $10,000 bonds each, and then he has a revocation from his first arrest, which I am very proud to have been a part of that whole process. My own little piece in it, but that's a $20,000 bond that he has on that. So he's talking $50,000 between, essentially 4 charges right now, and you got to come up with 5% or 10% minimum. So he's got to come up with $5,000, and his main source of income, which was this fake 501c3 he had, is no longer going to be able to fund him because all their bank accounts are frozen.
I didn't know that. I remember kind of following a little bit when you and Kay and a couple of the people had first started talking about it. We had talked about it a little bit last, maybe fall or winter, right
it
around.
Was Nona Gets Angry episode about how
Yeah.
Western North Carolina was getting fucked over, and we got demonetized.
Yep.
All our views got taken away, all because you saw me get angry in one episode about how everybody was getting fucked over.
At one point, the episode had upwards of 1,200 or 2,000 views or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then we just progressively watched the number go down. I'm going to see where
I think it currently is like on 3 or something like that.
Good old YouTube.
Crazy. Yeah. But we did...
We talked, it was because I specifically said the president at the time had grounded the flights who were being assisting in rescue missions. And so I got really mad about that. And that was specifically what the issue
43 views. Nice. So you go from 11,000 to 1,000 to 3.1 to 43.
Of course. I mean, that's the way it would work. Now, and the thing about it, too, is as shitty of a person as he is, and as shitty of a group of people, that whole group of people is, it really brought a lot of people, especially in like our GC that we have, really brought us together tight because Shelnut was the one who came up with, the videos and stuff. And that's what kind of brought my attention to
He
it.
was crushed.
And oh, dude, he was
You know who
just
we're talking about.
destroying him. And that kind of stayed for friends. I'm not going to say your name on here, but you know who you are. But yeah, I got him and I involved with it. And then that really just exploded from there to the point where we had the live stream through the spaces on Twitter, now X, started to dead name people and organizations. But and that night, freaking Ralph ended up showing up into the stream, talking a bunch of shit.
He did?
Oh, he talked a bunch of shit. And then I started I like to fancy myself a quasi-professional troll at times.
No wonder you two get along. Oh my God.
And I trolled the living shit out of him for, what was that stream? Probably 3 hours long, 2.5, 3 hours.
I vaguely know what you're talking about.
I just drug him as hard as I could for it had to be almost 3 hours.
It was recorded.
And he was
wasn't
on
it?
It was,
there.
yeah, it was recorded. He was on there and he was trying to talk shit back. And eventually he just types, he never spoke. He was only typing. And eventually he types back and goes, well, you bunch of bitches have fun. I'm going to go out to dinner with my wife. That night he went out, got shit-faced hammered, threatened to kill her, and then pulled a gun from the nightstand table and said, why did you let these people do this to me? This is what I'll do.
This.
And that's what that was. And that was his first charge. And we have the video. We have all the police body cam. We have everything.
Oh.
And so that next day I went live again and I was like, I just want to say it probably had nothing to do with me, honestly. It probably had nothing to do with me. But I didn't I want to take my little bit of credit here and say I was responsible for Ralph getting his ass arrested for this.
No, 100%. He was so angry at being called out about his shit that he then got shit-faced, took it out on his wife.
Wasn't one of the biggest things that came up, if I remember right,
And they
was
say
that
men aren't emotional.
he was claiming to live in North Carolina, or he was helping in North Carolina.
He was back and forth between North Carolina and Florida.
So
100%.
Okay.
He was in Western North Carolina.
I remember.
And there's no issue with multiple states, and
that's where jurisdiction comes into play, and that's a fucking nightmare. It really is. Jurisdictions are a nightmare, like to the point where you have two counties next to each other.
right.
Crime is occurring in this county, and individual is in separate county and gets arrested for something else. They can't charge him in this county for what happened in here. That jurisdiction now has a request to have extradition back to that county. That's a whole nightmare, and especially if you're talking interstate, it's horrible. And one of the people that was with them, her name is Diane Carter. We actually got her arrested too.
And
she's in.
how is she associated?
She's in Missouri. She was a part of this. So he had a fake 501c3. They had a website and everything. It was called the Patriot Tactical Survival Team or something like PSST. The Patriot Survival something or other tactical team. Anyways.
Is he even a veteran?
No, he's never served the day. He's a fucking bodybuilder who was on American Ninja Warrior.
Oh my God.
He claimed that he was with that he was Spec Ops. He claimed that he was with Blackwater and all those people.
Okay.
He claimed that he was with Triple Canopy. That he just claimed all kinds of wild shit.
Okay.
And it was just and everyone, like a couple of people who were in our GC were actually with some of those groups. And they're like, no, like fucking no. Like to the point where, and I don't want to say too much. You may have to like bleep this part out, but apparently it got to the point where one of those corporations knew that he was claiming this, had an open investigation into him. Somebody within our GC was a part of that, still knows people there.
Mm-hmm.
He reached out to them because we were going to kind of put it out there, like, yeah, guess what? And they said pretty much exactly verbatim was like, shut the fuck up. Do not fucking mention us at all because we are already pending a case against him. And that's like, cool beans. And so I mean, he goes deep into that shit, but he's a fucking con artist is all he is. But it all started with him and this girl, Diane Carter.
Okay.
And she's a lifelong con artist. Like her criminal record, I think when we pulled it, goes probably back to like the mid 70s, 80s, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Everything. She's currently going through a case in Missouri for theft of an elderly individual that she was apparently friends with. I guess she was like cleaning his house or some shit, and she stole like $3,000 from his house in cash. But she said that he just was an old man with dementia. That she never stole money from him. He probably just misplaced it.
Right.
Just a bunch of stupid shit. And but she got arrested for that. And then she had she was running a fake homeless shelter out of a barn that had it had no no plumbing, no power, no nothing. But she was charging people like their food stamps, their welfare checks, disability.
How can you charge food stamps?
She was the only way I could think about it is they were having, because you get a SNAP card.
Yeah.
And she was essentially making them use that SNAP card to purchase stuff for her.
Okay.
That's the only thing I could think of.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I mean, apparently there was freaking children living there, and there were
in feral conditions.
I don't want to say the word, so I'll say PDF files that were living there as well off the street. So they were in close proximity. That got shut down. She claimed that her sister, who's her twin, freaking stole her husband from her or something like that. The bitch is crazy.
Okay.
But
so she probably has a psych file as long as her criminal file.
She has to have one. But she got arrested in Missouri again because when the flooding happened there a few months back, she started claiming that she was a FEMA official.
Oh my goodness.
But she had like this dog that was like her world apparently. And she claimed this dog was like search and rescue certified, the cadaver dog and everything like that. Apparently I've talked to journalists who interviewed her and stuff for different things, who said that was probably one of the stupidest fucking dogs I've ever met in my life. Like she would tell it to do something and the dog would just look at her like, yeah, go fuck yourself and just go find a stick to play with. Like
poor guy.
Like it was nowhere near what she was making it out to be. And like everyone caught on to it, started calling out for bullshit. But I mean, she alone, the group that we formed, I was going to get to that, but eventually long-winded. But it kind of caused us to all come together and create like a watchdog group and just realizing how many people were there. And we ended up calling ourselves, best name ever, Disrupt, Expose, and Integrity Solutions. So for short, our name is DEI Solutions. And so we, little play on words for all of
perfect
your soft people.
Perfect.
So we ended up forming this little watchdog group and just kind of took off from there. And it's literally people who scam people in natural disasters or in general, that are committing, massive fraud against people where, people think they're donating for a good cause. But these people are sitting there saying, don't donate to the 501c3. Give it to me through Venmo. Give it to me through PayPal. Oh, I have this Amazon wish list. Put it onto there. And it's like, that's not how 501c3s operate. Right. That's not how they operate at all.
Well, yes and no. So for Veteran Wiki, and for those that are curious, if you ever actually want to vet an organization before you make a donation, first of all, you can just go to the IRS website and look them up. You can look them up by name. You can look them up by EIN. You can look them up by founders of the organization. So if they've actually legitimately founded a corporation, you can take the information from the corporation and you can actually look it up. And the IRS will tell you if they are a nonprofit, and if they're a nonprofit and they're tax exempt, or if they're not. There are some things that nonprofits can't do. So for example, if you were to sell merchandise, right? Mm-hmm. If you were to sell merchandise, that would still be taxed as retail sales.
You mean like the Captain Ralph Avalon with his fucking piece of shit coin that he came up with for everyone to buy?
Yep. But I hate using the word loophole because it's not actually a loophole. It's the law and you're following the law. Mm-hmm. If you tell somebody, if you make a donation, I will give you a free t-shirt, that isn't taxed. But if you sell a t-shirt and use that as a donation, that is taxed. It's like the Marine Corps League in South Bend. They're one of my clients. Mm-hmm. Same way for them. When they have their annual events and stuff, their charity for Toys for Tots and the mud run in the summer, everything like that. They have to be wary about how they phrase things. Same with, if you've ever watched anybody that's doing a giveaway or a sweepstakes mm-hmm. or a raffle.
That's the same reason why, the whole Oprah show had its issue with everyone gets a free car. Yep. And 3/4 of the people couldn't do it because they had to pay the taxes on the car.
Yep.
And they couldn't come up with the taxes on it.
So not to divert too much from this, but I just saw something came up very similar to that. The wells, I guess, that Mr. Beast installed in Africa.
Yeah. Did you see the fat electrician commented on that guy?
Yeah.
That was one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen in my life, his comment.
So he donated however much, or they raised, right? And then they went out there, they installed these wells in these super, super rural areas where they literally had nothing. They built like libraries and donated books and did all this stuff. And now they're complaining that, so they trained the people that live there to maintain them. And then they didn't.
Oh.
And now they're complaining that he isn't fixing the problem.
And so, do you know who the fat electrician is?
Only vaguely.
Yeah.
heard.
Okay. So, fat electrician, this guy put a post up bitching about it. And so the fat electrician commented on there. And he said, yeah, what did he say? He said, yeah, Mr. Beast gave me a car and I drove it for 2 years, never changed the oil. The fucking engine blew up. What an asshole for selling me a piece of shit car.
Yeah. Yep. And that's actually how I saw that. I just saw it this morning.
Yeah, did you? Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, but just, if you guys are looking to donate and you're legitimately wary, there are organizations that a legitimate nonprofit wants to be in good terms with. That's Candid, which is where we get our transparency rating from. We have to provide tax returns to them. We have to show diversity. We don't have to, but there's levels to the non. So like we have gold. When we started, we had silver. That's the highest you can get when you first start your first tax year. So we came out of the gate at silver. We have gold right now. The only reason that we don't have platinum is because we don't have more people. You need to have more, like they want you to literally touch on every different demographic. They want women of every race. They want men of every race. They want every sexual orientation. Like for a super, super small nonprofit, that's kind of unreasonable.
Yeah, that's kind of unreasonable at the end. But at the same time, it's the whole fact is, the information's out there for these nonprofits, and it's just for whatever reason, these people are hell bent to take advantage of people who. I don't want to come across as sounding like an asshole, but people who are ignorant. They think they're just giving away, giving to a good cause. Like this Diane chick would go on Facebook and just constantly put on their stupid shit like just left the IHOP and paid for like 5 families' food who were in need, blah blah blah, in Swannanoa, North Carolina, and I'm asking for donations to give them blankets and blah 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 blah. Send it to this Venmo here, and I say, no, like that's not how you do that. But she would do that, and then her little claim to fame with Ralph was, remember that story when Hurricane Helene hit, that there was a baby that froze to death because the family was kicked out of a trailer, and it like went super fucking viral for like 2 weeks.
She's not on Max.
Okay.
I didn't
All right.
see
So
that.
she started that,
Oh.
and she started with Ralph, and it exploded. And that's where Shellnut, I almost said his real name there for a second, but that's where Shellnut got involved. Well, I guess now it's retired influencer.
Yeah.
But he got in with that and started making videos about it, and that's what got me into it. And then got Stayed for Friends into it, got Andrew into it. That's where we all just started dogpiling. That's when Kay got into it. When Kay got into it, shit went deep, and that got to the point where Kron started following me. And then when Kron started following me, he reached out to me directly, which
Shads.
I'm not gonna lie, like my asshole puckered so hard as soon as I saw that he followed me.
Is that a bad thing?
Kron is.
He'll make your toaster talk to you. He's done it.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a guy who like, I'll put it like this. There was one time that somebody like challenged Kron and called him like a lot of names that I'm not gonna say. And Kron within like 20 minutes posted a picture inside the guy's kitchen, like what the inside of his kitchen looked like. And was
That's so fucking creepy.
Yeah, dude.
I
love you to death, Kron. You scared the fucking shit out of me.
Please don't do that to us.
There is one person that, well, all of us know. She knows Anthony as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's one person on this earth who we know knows his real identity.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only person that the people actively go out of their way and try and dox him. It's a daily occurrence.
Yep.
That's so weird. You guys are all so weird.
So this one guy, so it happened with this LA speaker guy you were talking about, guy earlier.
Yep.
He was talking shit, trying to dox Ice. Within 20 minutes, Kron was like, "Oh, you mean kind of like your name is this, and you currently live in this place, and this is where you live at your mom's house. And then don't worry, let me send you the address." And he DM'd him a fucking picture of the front door like that. And then it was that other one that was started with an A, Alamani or something like that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Was it Armani?
I think it was no, that's the suit.
Yeah.
We're thinking of it because of that, but no, it's it does
Start
start
with an A and end with an I. Anyways, but that person did the same thing. Like I'm ICE is in this place right now, blah 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 blah, and immediately had his shit out there. And it's like, and that guy already shut his account down.
And the funniest part is a lot of these people have had their accounts for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so they haven't recently posted where they live or who they are.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point they've given enough clues.
Mm-hmm.
They've posted a picture of themselves and forgot about it. They've posted like the inside of their house. They posted a location where they were at for something. And he can really quickly find those things and then basically track back to who you probably are. And he's right every time. There's no
That's
use.
so fucking creepy.
You would have to. So back in the day, one of the ways that I used to track people down for like forensic stuff for payment processors for fraud is I would take their email address and plug it in like on Instagram or wherever to start the password reset, but I wouldn't actually go through it because then it would tell you additional information.
Oh yeah, I used to do that for my ex-husband with all the girls that he was fucking.
Nice.
So you could plug in like a user. So back in the day, it would say the full email address. Oh, send the password reset to here. Now I know your email address. Now they do the thing where they put the asterisk in there. They'll give you the first letter and the last letter. But a lot of people just use their name as their email address. So now I know the first letter of your first name and the last letter of your last name.
Mm-hmm.
And I already probably know what your name is. So now I'm confirmed. This is definitely your email. This is definitely your account. So this is definitely you. But I believe he's probably using some of their APIs.
I talked to him briefly via DM, and he kind of broke down a little bit with how he goes about it. And I'm not going to discuss it on here. If you want to talk afterwards, we can.
Okay.
But yeah, some of the stuff that he does is crazy. With me, it's not necessarily just what he does; it's how fast he does it.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what gets me. It's like it's literally. I think the longest I've seen it take is maybe a couple hours.
So,
and like when we were looking into these people, I reached out to him for a couple of them where I was like, bro, I can't find shit. And 20 minutes later, here you go. This is who it is.
He's one of those people where I can do a lot of what he can do, not as fast as he can do. I can do a lot of what he can do. Because a lot of what he can do are publicly facing, free, available tools. It's just that people don't know they exist. So your first hurdle is figuring out what to use, what's free, what's not, what's pay, what you can access via API, all these different services and things like that. People don't want to go through that first hurdle. So they just Google. And whatever they find on Google is gospel, right? So when people are like, oh, I have the most secure network, or I have this and I have that, and I'm like, stop making yourself a fucking target. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you say that, that's like a challenge. It's the guys with weaponized autism are like, how fast?
Weaponized autism?
Yeah.
Oh, I will say everybody in our group has weaponized autism all day. First of all, I was in the Marine Corps. I'm the most autistic fuck you're going to meet today. That's number one. Like, guaranteed.
But how are you adding weaponized to the...
You can point them in a direction and say, here's what you
go.
need. Yeah.
And you have no idea.
Yep.
No idea. That it's fun sometimes.
Yeah. So you don't...
I think it's what makes us great trolls, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like the art of trolling somebody is to just you don't want to dig too hard, too quickly. It's like waves crashing on the shore. Just consistent, nonstop, bugging the shit out of them until finally they just like boil over and you're like, yes, thank you.
Because there are people that think that they have to protect their reputation, or they have something that they've lied about that they're trying to maintain the details of the lie or whatever. And if you just keep chipping away at them, they give you just enough on their own that you can piece together what's really going on.
Well, that's what happened with that dude who had the S word assault charges and stuff. What was his name? That jackass who everybody ran him out. Remember that guy? What was his name?
I feel like this occurs way too often.
I know. It was God bless. He was with. He had all the gun content and everything. That
The YouTuber.
You're talking about Glover?
Glover. Thank
Okay.
you. Yes.
I thought you were talking about somebody specific on X.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, with Glover. That's what happened with him.
Yeah, he's kind of back. I don't know if he's fully back. It's I make sure that after I've gone like investigated something or whatever, I try to do it incognito. But if I don't, I always go and like say don't recommend this channel so that it doesn't pop up in my feed and algorithm all the
I
time.
thought you were referring to the other YouTuber who does GunTube, whose wife owns the company, so that way nobody can go after it.
You're talking about
Was that Grantham?
yeah.
Yeah, Grant. Okay, yeah. I don't want to talk about Grantham.
And now T-Rex Arms.
That whole
Dude,
I
yeah.
feel so bad for that whole situation.
What?
I'm never buying from T-Rex Arms again, though. I'll tell you that.
There's a guy named Lucas Botkin that people love to make fun of. And actually,
Shout out, Lucas. Please follow me back, bro. Please. Thank you.
so he's clearly never done leg day.
Aww.
But and actually,
We should get him those chicken leg socks.
that Cash has.
Aww. Yeah,
do you,
Cash has 3 pairs of them.
Hold on,
do you remember when I did that live stream with that other with Focus Point
Yeah.
at the old house?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was in their chat.
Okay.
And I only kind of vaguely knew who he was just from people making fun of him all the time. But he had a falling out with his own brother
Okay.
in the company that they started.
Okay.
And
Because the brother said do leg day. Oh,
No.
he's so cool.
I actually don't know the full details because I don't really care enough.
He
Well,
looks
I
like
guess
he's
there was a
12
whole.
in that picture.
It was like a whole thing between that's.
why I quit T-Rex Arms.
But
Okay.
he really explains it in that video really well. But I guess what it really boiled down to was his wife was being disrespected a lot. I guess at one point, one of the people who worked in the front office over there like sent her a dick pic and everything, and they're like, I guess him and his wife were like super Christian, and they were like, this is not okay at all. And I guess his brother essentially kind of scammed him out of.
You can continue talking, but I was going to show you guys something here that just popped out to me. So Glover's channel, his Mike G or Mike Glover channel, that one of the ones that he changed the name of. Look at this. So this is from an app that we use for some of our videos.
Mhm.
So this blue line down here is our videos views versus his. Look at how he falls off a cliff right there. And we, to be clear, we haven't posted an episode in over 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that ours pops up at all, and he's been posting videos consistently, his views have completely bombed. They're with 2 spikes exceptions. He's basically right in line with us, and he has 686,000 subscribers, and we have the same amount of views with 5,000 subscribers.
Wow, that's wild.
So yeah.
Well, he's also worthless piece of shit.
Yeah. So I think I've told you guys this, but when I was at DJM, Fieldcraft was one of our clients. And so I did all of their marketing emails. We did some of their, like the graphics, anything that was like a motion graphics, like a GIF, things like that. They did all their own video stuff themselves. They would send stuff to us sometimes like clip up and use. But for the most part, we just wrote the copy for them. So we'd write and prepare the emails, link stuff, grab whatever images, things like that. And so I had access to their, what were they using? Of course, I can't remember which e-commerce platform they were using. There's only like a handful that anybody cares.
Do you think
Big
DJM is
commerce.
still with them?
No, they were already on the way out before that. So Big Commerce was who they were using, and I had access to their Big Commerce account to be able to connect things with all of their social sharing stuff, the email stuff, tying everything together. We used a platform with them called Klaviyo, and I had access to their sales numbers. They were already bombing, and this was going into the holiday season that year, 2022 holiday season. They were bombing, and they were wanting to reel back services, which that's kind of something that you would normally do to just get like where are we at now without running ads, right? Turn everything off, You just see how people organically find you. People clicking, customers sharing links on their own, blah, blah, blah. Like, what do we look like when we're not doing any marketing? They decided they wanted to do that during the holiday season, like around Black Friday and Christmas. So it fell off a cliff.
Fantastic business decision.
Yeah, yeah. They went from doing
busiest time of year. Let's say fuck it and shut it down.
Yep.
And this is when Glover was still in charge.
Yep. Yeah. Well, he was in charge until this year.
Right.
So, yeah.
I'm just
What an idiot.
verifying.
But Rob O'Neill, who was their CMO at the time, and Ricky Salhavi, who I don't know what her official title was, but they were the two that I dealt with all the time. And you could tell that Rob was frustrated with the decisions because he understood. But of course, you know, like when you're talking about an organization that's doing like $10 million a year in these online sales, but what the real problem was, and what we tried to convey to them, was that this was on the decline of COVID. So in the onset of COVID, people didn't have a gym to go to anymore. People didn't have a range to go to anymore. People couldn't have somebody train them or coach them or anything like that, at least not without getting in trouble, right? You can't post about it. You can't talk about it. You can't sell your service without getting in trouble. So they were selling remote classes and they were making a killing off of it. And we kept telling them, because that's the majority of what died off. People were going back to the gym. People were going back to the range. People were hiring personal trainers again. They don't want your online virtual nonsense. They want a person that's there, because they're going to pay it's the same amount of money no matter what, right? Like if I'm going to pay somebody to do something, I want that person physically there. If I'm paying somebody to do work on my house, I don't want them giving me a class. I want them in my house fixing the drywall.
Well, not only that, but you're talking about like accountability, you know, like me as a consumer, you know, say you take me to the gym, you know, you're my personal trainer. You know, I want you making sure that I'm not sitting here at the gym drinking fucking White Claw. You know, I want you at the gym like, hey, fat ass, go fucking
White
lift
Claw,
the weights.
sponsor us.
I don't know.
I support your products. Support them.
He even brought his own. That's how happy he was to drink it.
You boys and your White Claws. Here I am drinking tea.
That's supposed to be the low calorie option. You know, we gotta.
I gotta maintain my feminine figure because I don't skip leg day. God damn it.
So yeah, so they were kind of on that downhill. They were talking about, you know, cutting services and stuff, and because that was my account, it looked bad on me because here I am not able to sway the decision of somebody whose mind is already made up. And I mean, what am I going to tell them? Like, dude, you should have been able to predict that wasn't going to last forever. You should have been able to say, once this pandemic thing fizzles out, we need to shift back to in person. We need to shift back to products. We need to shift back to things that people actually want to buy. And they just weren't interested in doing that. And like I said, I want to say they were doing almost, it was like $8 to $10 million or something like that. And the year-over-year sales from like the November 2021 versus November 2022 were less than half. It was like 30%. And because we're marketing, we look bad, right? It looks like it's our fault, but it's not our fault. It's because you took your however many $1,000 budget and turned it into hundreds. And then you're like, why isn't it working? Well, it's not working because you don't want to pay. I can't turn nothing into something. You have to.
Well, hold on. Unless your name is Ralph Avalon, and you could turn absolutely nothing into a whole fucking lot of money.
Yep.
Like this $750,000 that we know you stole, you jackass.
So we can jump back into him. I did, before I moved down here, for a very small period of time, I did like CrossFit because I had some buddies from high school that owned a CrossFit gym, and that like was like what I knew from coming out of the Army. And I had some nursing staff that I worked with in the hospital in Indiana that were doing a Spartan race one year. And this was like 2011, 2012. And so I went and did it with them, and I made, you know, a bunch of friends and connections. My buddy and I had started a fitness business at the time. He was in the NFL, And
Who's your friend?
his name's Ross. I don't want to say Patterson. Ross Ballman. He played. He was on the Steelers practice league. He wasn't.
See, now I'm a diehard Steelers fan. So now you're talking what year?
That same time, 2011, 2012. He was practice squad. He never made the 53-man roster.
That would be why I don't recognize him.
He did. He tried for years because he went to like a JUCO. I mean, he was like really good athlete, but he never could like get
pop that last tier level.
Yeah. And so we started a company. It was called Foreman Fitness, and that's all we did. We were at workouts and made videos. We actually, I got screwed on this, and I should have followed through with it better. I actually was on the pioneered QR codes on machines in gyms.
Oh no shit!
So people could scan them, and yeah, I pitched it to Life Fitness through. So the gym that we went to was an independent franchise of Anytime.
Mm-hmm.
And so they put us in with some executive from Lifetime, because that's the equipment that they had in their gym was Life Fitness or whatever it is. And so we did a couple of videos, and I think they still exist on YouTube. If you look up Foreman Fitness, they're probably still on there.
Pretty bad.
You can see me walking up, tapping my phone, because they were QR codes with NFC chips embedded in them.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in 2011. This is before people were doing tap to pay, not in the US at least, obviously. Like in Asia, they were doing it decades ago. But so you see me walk up with my OnePlus phone, that's how old this is, and tap, and then show you the video. And then I scan the QR code and show you the video. And I mean, this is 15 years ago, so the videos are not great. The editing is not there. But
now I gotta find the videos.
Yeah. And
you should have followed through.
Yeah.
Then we would have never met and you would have been a millionaire.
Well, everybody kind of jumped on it. I think it was one of those things where a lot of people, there was nothing that we could patent. There was nothing that we could trademark. It was just, we wanted to be the ones that did it for them. Content quality is probably why they didn't go with us. We were more like a QVC commercial than like a commercial. I don't know how that started. We're talking about the CrossFit. So I did a couple Spartan races for like a year, and I got a sponsorship with Under Armour because Reebok screwed me over. Reebok had these really cool shoes that came out one year, and they made these. They're almost like cleats, but they weren't. Like they're kind of like golf shoes in a way, where like they're kind of studded, but not really. And they came out with those, and they were
like the all-terrain shoes they had, where they had like almost like treads on, like truck treads or some shit. Yeah.
But they came out with a pair where the entire shoe was patterned like the American flag. I was like, oh, it's cool. Yeah. So I bought them. I paid for them. Weeks went by. Had a race coming up in Ohio that they called their Trifecta Day. And I guess they do this a couple different places, a couple different times a year. So it's where you can do all 3 levels on the same day. You do it in one day. You do the 5-mile race, you do the 15-mile or 10-mile race or whatever, and then you do the half marathon or full marathon, all in the same day.
Too much cardio for me.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So they didn't ship the shoes, and I kept reaching out to them. They weren't responding. So I posted on Twitter at the time. And
I think you told me about this. Yeah.
I said, hey, Reebok, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Under Armour's never been like this to me. And Under Armour reached out to me within an hour. They're like, what do you need? When do you need it? So they sent me these really cool, they were high top. They were like yellow with black camo on them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like that was like their prototype shoe that they were going to be releasing. And they overnighted them to me, FedEx. Dude, it was like the coolest thing ever. And they gave me a budget of like $500 at cost for products per month. So
I'd be all over that.
Yeah. So I like backpacks, shoes, compression shorts, sock. I mean, I'm wearing all Under Armour right now, other than the Black Rifle shirt. Still to this day, because they.
Yes, still to this day, because that's what he makes me buy him. It's Under Armour or nothing else.
But so that's all to say. That's a very long-winded way to say that I met a lot of people and have a lot of friends on social media that do that were mutual friends with Ralph. And when all that, the stories and information broke, I went on Facebook and I typed in his name, and then all of my mutual friends, I reached out to all of them and said, hey, you might want to unfriend or unfollow this guy. And there was like 30 or 40 of them that I reached out to. Some of them were like, I don't even know who that guy is. Other ones were like, oh my God, there's no way. He was such a nice guy. Or I met him like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever communicate with him anymore. I'm like, we
have records of him going back to fucking Katrina.
Wow.
We found information on him going that far back. This is how long he's been doing.
And where does
That's probably when it originated.
That I don't know. We do know that he was in with the guy, and I'm not going to say his name just because we kind of taken a step back from him, and he's a fuckwit who would probably try to make a lawsuit against me if I name dropped him. But fuck you. You know who you are. And
I'll say it if you want to whisper in my ear.
No.
I'll
No,
type it to you.
we're not getting sued.
But no, his old man got into some heat in all places, Palm Beach County, Florida.
Okay.
For essentially running like an energy company down there.
Okay.
And got in business with a couple of people that were going to buy the business, or he was going to buy their business out. They drafted all the contract paperwork and shit. He was going to buy it for like $5 million. And the day came for the transfer of everything. He showed up, got the key, said, yep, we're going to be depositing the money shortly, and just fucking bounced. And never paid the money. He got sued for that, lost everything. He almost went to jail for that, from what I understand. But Ralph was in business with him, and that was back, and I want to say that was like the 80s. So he's been at it for a while.
Oh, wow.
Like, he's been at it for a hot minute. But that's how he had met Ralph. And it just kind of went from there. And those two, I will say that guy spilled his shit so fast. Like, once we started turning the screws into him, it was one of the funniest things I've ever. I've been in some interrogations. Didn't even have to push, because like the whole thing about interrogation. Here's the sneaky truth to everybody out there. Right? If you ever want to break the law and be stupid, okay? If you get interrogated,
first
by
of all,
the police,
don't.
Right.
All right. 90% of the information in the questions they're asking you, they already know the answer to.
Right.
It's that 10% that they don't know, but they judge you based upon your answer for the 90. They know you're being truthful about this, and they'll never say which one it is.
Right.
But there's information they don't know, and if you're fucking full of shit with what they know, you're gonna be full of shit with what they don't know. And as long as you've been honest and open with everything they know, they can pretty much bank that, yep, this is probably what we didn't know that's true. And this guy broke so fucking fast. It was not even within a couple of, like, begging us to not mention his name ever again because of what it was doing to him personally. So, but still, fuck you.
There's, well, I've told you, I don't think I've ever told the story about the thing that happened with my brother. I've told you, but I haven't told on the podcast, have I?
Honestly, I don't remember. And if you did, it was in like the first 3 to 4 episodes that we did, which were all bullshit. And we were just going down memory lane.
So, completely coincidental nonsense. This was right after I got out of the Army. Moved back to Indiana. I was in school. And I had an 04 F-150. And my girlfriend at the time, or I'm sorry, I had sold my F-150. I was driving a Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland at the time. But my girlfriend at the time had just bought an F-150. And my brother had an F-150. His was a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my girlfriend had wrecked her truck and it was in the shop. And I didn't have school or work or anything that day. So she took my Jeep to work. And my brother had never updated his home address or anything. I was on a land contract. I was supposed to buy my childhood home from my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I was at where I grew up. And I'm sitting there doing whatever, playing games. I don't know what I was doing. And the sheriff's department shows up and they're like, hey, are you so-and-so? And I said, no, that's my brother. And they're like, skeptical, and I don't have anything on me because it's all in my car, my wallet and everything, because I would just leave it in the little cubby in the car. So she's got everything. So they don't believe it. And the detective, I don't know what he was, comes up and he's like, would you mind coming with us? They don't put me in cuffs. They don't read me my rights or anything. And I have no idea what's going on. So I'm like, sure. So I get in the back of this county patrol car and they drive out of the neighborhood and they go to the corner gas station that I'd frequented forever. Managers know me. Like that was like my stop, always going into South Bend was always the same one, but they never took me inside. So they pull in there and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So I'm sitting in the back of this cruiser typing on social media. I'm like, haha, I'm in the back of a squad car, you know.
What a dumb fuck.
Yeah. And I have no idea what's going on. I'm like, maybe I'm being pranked. I don't know what's going on here, whatever. Maybe something else. Maybe they think I'm a witness. And again, this is like 15 years ago. So I'm kind of fucking stupid at the time too.
You still are.
Whatever.
We all are.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's that weaponized autism.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Every day, all day.
Yep. Sorry, it's hard to turn like this.
Oh, you good?
So they go in there, they go into the gas station, and then they come out. And the guy's like, so your girlfriend has an F-150? And I said, yeah, but it's in the shop. And he's like, are you sure? And I said, yeah, I can show you where it is. Like, you know, she backed over some mailboxes in the middle of the night out in the country. She's stupid. And he's like, sure. And then he goes back inside, and a little bit later he comes outside and he asks me to step out of the car and he puts me in cuffs and tells me that I'm being arrested for hit and run. I'm like, I've been at fucking, what are you talking about? I've been at home. So, you know, of course, they take everything away from me. They cuff me behind my back. They put me back in the car. Then they go back inside again. Again, none of the employees, manager, anybody like that had ever like seen me, that we didn't interact, anything like that. So they go in, they're looking at the security footage. And they're comparing the person that they see that came into the store on the security footage, and they come back out and they look at me and they say, yeah, he has the same tattoos and looks like he took off his jewelry, and they're like talking, taking all these notes and stuff. So my ears were pierced at one time, but I hadn't worn them forever. So they thought that I took my earrings out and that I was wearing a chain, took it off, because these are all things that you can quickly change without, you know, whatever.
But you and your brother don't have the same tattoos.
No, not even close. And so
These are his initials. Like,
yeah,
what?
like the American flag, you know, stuff like that. And so like they're legitimately doing this. And then finally they got a printout and they brought it out and they said, are you sure this isn't you? And I was like, that's my fucking brother who's 4 years younger than me. And they're like,
And shorter than you.
yeah. So they're like, oh, so your girlfriend really does have an F-150. That's really, I'm like, yeah. My brother had committed a hit and run in the gas station parking lot.
Oh,
drove
Jesus
off,
Christ.
hid his vehicle in the neighborhood, didn't even come to the house. Didn't like I had no idea that he was actually on the run.
I'd have been blowing his fucking phone up.
Yeah.
Like, you motherfucker.
So they take me out of cuffs. The detective's like apologetic. He's like, I'm so sorry. And looking back, I probably could have fucking sued him.
No.
I didn't know that at the time. Really?
Nope.
For publicly taking me out like that?
Nope.
No. Well,
Not a damn thing you could have done.
so they just take me back to the house and just let me out of the cruiser, and I walk. And so, I mean, of course, also my neighbors see this. They never had lights and sirens on. It could have been anything. I have friends who are police, you know. I could have just been doing a ride along and then came back home, whatever. I never talked to them about it, so I don't know if they ever knew what had happened.
That's funny.
But yeah, so I go back inside, and they're like, you think you can call your brother for us? And I was like, sure. So,
Like I said, I'm like, fuck you. You better get over here now, dude.
Yeah. I call him, I put him on speaker because they're standing there in the foyer of the house. And I'm like, hey, where are you at? And he's like, I don't even know what he said. And I'm like, police are looking for you for hit and run. He's like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, apparently, and you almost had my ass arrested. They think that your F-150 is the same as my girlfriend's F-150. They're not even the same color either. And if they had actually let me show them
Okay, so just one of those gas stations, or is it just like grainy black and white security footage, or is it like?
If I remember right, they had color, but it was really, really low resolution.
But had they actually done some police work, would have clearly seen that the license plates were different.
Yeah.
These 7 fucking pixels look just like that tattoo.
And like, I mean, as a cop, right? If I tell you, oh, my girlfriend has one, now it sounds like I was driving it.
It could definitely come across that way.
Yeah.
It really could.
Oh, it's in the shop. How convenient.
Oh, gee, huh?
Yeah.
I just hit a fucking vehicle. I guess
Yeah.
I better take it to the shop. Yeah.
So here I am, almost admitting to a crime that I didn't commit.
That you had no knowledge
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
But now you have to understand why I thought it was so weird that you don't have a relationship with your brothers until finally finding these bits and pieces out later
Well, you know that
in
I just
our
don't talk to anybody
relationship.
anyways.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm the same way most of the time. You know, I tend to not, be overly zealous to speak to family members most times.
Yeah. Well, actually, the littles, they sang him happy birthday from the back of my truck on last week because it was his birthday on the 4th. So
You talked to your brother?
they hid behind the passenger and driver's seat, and I just recorded, so there's nobody in the frame of the video, and they're in the back seat, and they just go, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
And then you send it to him
Yeah.
on text? He
Yeah.
probably didn't even press play.
He did. He said, oh, they're so nervous, and I said, yeah, that's exactly why.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
That's so random.
Yeah. Going back and talking about Ralph and all the other nonsense.
Oh God, that guy.
Um,
I absolutely despise that man. Like the sheer arrogance of that man to think that he's going to get away with it. Mind blowing. But I will say that the fun thing that we can do that I was alluding to earlier was I did find out looking through his court stuff, and you could pull it up too if you wanted to. If when you pull up the inmate search records and everything,
On what site?
it's the actual Palm Beach County Sheriff's Department website.
Have a clerk of court?
No, yeah,
Court records?
Oh, you want the Sheriff's Department? You have to go through the
Here,
sheriff.
I'll do it real quick. I need to run to the bathroom.
Yeah. But if you go to their website,
I'll be right back.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't hold it?
No.
What's wrong with you? Are you getting older?
you're going to find this hilarious as well.
His mugshot?
Oh, his mugshot is beautiful. It is one of the most beautiful mugshots you'll ever see in your life.
And why does he go by the captain?
I guess he wants to fancy himself that he was a captain at some point. It would be my best guess. But as far as I'm concerned, he is just a worthless fucking trash heap. Change it.
Is his wife still with him, or are they going through a divorce now?
They can't. There's a protective order out against him. That's one of the reasons. Now, I don't know.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
You can't go through a divorce with a protective order?
I don't know if they're still together or not because of the protective order. They weren't ever married.
Oh,
They were engaged.
Oh,
Yeah, they
I
were-
didn't know they were
they
married.
were engaged.
Gotcha.
But one of his new charges, you'll see here in a second, is violation of
The protective order?
his protection.
Oh,
order.
fun.
So we're just waiting on it to process through. For whatever reason, their website takes forever.
That doesn't surprise me. That seems like all these government sites. And
What do you mean my search doesn't match anything?
I was having a conversation with somebody. Oh, it was my clients the other day. I was having a conversation with them. They're like, why does my site speed matter? And why does this matter? And I'm like, well, unlike when you go to pay a bill or you're interacting with a government website, people tend to bounce because your site didn't load fast enough. Whereas if I'm going to pay my power bill,
Right.
or I'm visiting the county website to pay my taxes, or whatever the case may be,
There we
Right.
go.
I don't have a choice how fast. I
So-
don't have an alternative to pay on.
That's his mugshot.
Ew.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I had that on my phone.
He kind of looks like Patrick, aged 50 years.
So this is what's fantastic that I found out. So if you go down here, you can see each one of these. So each one of these is a felony that he's looking at right now. So each one of those, he's currently at a $10,000 bond for each one of them. And then right here, violation, injunction, protection, domestic violence. So that's a violation of that protection order. So I don't know if that means that she was with him when she got picked up. Oh, that's cool. You can pull it through there too.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
Can't that be as simple as he even like tried calling her?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. It depends on the protection order itself.
Oh, damn it. It's one of those. You have to retype it. I was hoping that it was
I'll retype it in. I don't care.
that keyboard right there.
Yeah, I'll redo it. Change the date.
Yeah.
Go back to the 27th of May, which is amazing because that's my birthday. That's when he got arrested. That was like the best birthday gift I could have.
Well, happy belated birthday.
Look at that.
Thank you.
It was auto-filling it. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
There it is again.
What an
All right.
interesting name, Avalon.
So,
Let me
so
change
now
this.
just a question: is that going to show to your?
I'm going to show it to him right now.
Okay.
This is what they see right here.
All right. So if you look at that beautiful mugshot, number one, that's absolutely number one. And so if you go down, so all right. So if you go to the first one, it says 812 dot 014 2C3 FT.
Yep.
So that's larceny, grand theft, $10,000 less than $20,000. Essentially, what that means is he is accused of larceny or theft greater than $750, but less than $20,000. And I believe what this all, if I remember correctly seeing it, there was 4 checks that were written. Each one of them ranged from like $850 up to like $2,000. So each one of those is engulfed into this right here. Now they may end up using each individual checks as well, but that's going to, there's a whole other process to that. The next one down is the forgery. So in other words, he's saying that he forged documents to state that the money was his from the 501c3, which the 501c3 was fake in the first place.
Right.
But essentially, he used stolen money that he was stealing from a fake 501c3. Then the one below it, the utter false banknotes, checks, and fraud, draft, and stuff like that. That's essentially saying that he knew that it was fake money, fake currency, or a bad check, and knowingly used it anyway.
Okay.
So that's where each one of those comes in. So the original bond is 0. So he sat without bond for I think 3 days before they finally gave him bond. Now it says current bond is at $10,000 for each one of those. So each one of those is a $10,000 bond. So there's your $30,000. And if you look underneath it for the booking number where the mouse is currently sitting, that's a contempt of court violation injunction of his domestic violence protective order. That's the one against his fiance. That's the one where I'm not positive if she was like present with him or not, or what happened, but that essentially says that he was in violation some way, shape, form, or fashion of the conditions of that protection order. And I have not been able to get a hold of the police report yet to find out what that was exactly. And then the booked recommit, that's the one that I'm extremely interested in. Because there's 0 bond on it. It's saying that the current bond is still sitting at 0, and we're now 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks past this point. Yep. Oh, excuse me. Good God. That contempt of court violation, if that's a first time violation, that's a misdemeanor in the state of Florida.
Gotcha.
However, when it says booked recommit 0 bond sitting with an additional booking number on it, if this is the second time or more, that is now a class 2 felony in the state of Florida, which means that he could be possibly facing 4 felony charges, in addition to felony aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent, which is what he got arrested for the first time.
Wow.
So he's currently facing up to 5 felonies. Now, what I found out that's hilarious, and this is amazing. If you hit where it says bond information,
On any of them or just?
yeah, just any of them.
Okay.
Now, before you click it, oh, okay, you already clicked it. That right there. All right, it says care pack. I thought this was going to give me all the booking information. Okay.
No, you can buy it for him in.
No. I thought this was going to be like the conditions of the bond, like how much you'd have to pay for the bond, what bondsman they're going to, all the kind of stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
It turns out what this is this giving you information for how to send care packages to your inmate.
Yeah.
Whether it's like a friend or something like that.
Yeah.
So if you see right there, there's a
Protein pack, snack pack.
I so fucking badly want to send him a cookie lovers pack. It comes with like 15 days worth of fucking cookies. It's like if you click on the detailed care package content, it tells you what's in each packet. So if you go down to the cookie lover at the bottom right hand corner, so that's everything that thing comes with, right? You can send it anonymously. And in addition to sending it anonymously, you can put like personalized messages and everything in there. And I so fucking badly want to send him a cookie care package and say like, with regards from Western North Carolina.
I mean, So normally I'm on board for spiteful things, but he actually would benefit from this. So the right thing to do
that's my
is
only
to
thing is like I don't
not-
want to do it. Not necessarily because I think it would eat him. But the reason why I don't want to do it is because I know damn well he'd probably use it as like currency.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I just thought about him eating the damn cookies and enjoying them.
I know damn well that piece of shit would use him as currency, and I don't want to like give him the opportunity for any of that.
That's so crazy though to me. Like,
Trading a pack of Oreos for an HJ or a BJ.
that was so
we're
funny,
just going back to that terminology.
I got the grandma's special oatmeal cookies.
Yes.
I just need a quick fix.
It's so crazy to me that he couldn't figure out a way with all the people that he potentially fooled into thinking he was a good person. He couldn't
To make his
scrape
bond
together
for him.
$5,000. Yeah,
But the thing is all of his money came from the 501c3, and he can't transfer it
right.
from that bank account to his account. It had to stay in the 501c3's account. And the fact that that account got completely locked off, and this is what he was arrested for, now I know nothing about the investigation. Couldn't tell you the first thing. The thing that would make the most sense to me is that Palm Beach County was already looking into him for something, because we went hard in the paint on him, Diane. Fucking, I'll say his first name. The other guy, Justin.
I don't want you to get sued.
If I do, I do. Honestly, I don't think he has a ball sack to do it, but it is what it is. But like, there's a group of like 5 different people. I mean, we went hard after, like, contacting multiple jurisdictions, nonstop. Just like, I got this. Hey, I just got him to admit to this. Hey, I just got this information. Deep dive on everything we could, and that's how I met Dogwood, Blooms, and that's how I met America. That she's really awesome. How I met Margot. She was a former state representative. I think she was an assistant for a state rep. But she's heavy like the politics of the state of North Carolina. They all have a lot of deep roots in the western side of the state. They're fantastic people. A couple of them are actually in our Watchdog group. And nonstop, though, we were constantly going to different jurisdictions with the information we had. And so finally, I think Palm Beach was a tough one. I reached out to them personally, I think 4 times, like 4 or 5 times that I reached out to them and got nothing. Before I finally was like, I need to talk to somebody. Like, there's somebody in your state committing this fucking like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, we found records. So when everything kind of first happened, their, I guess, accountant that they had for this deal was a lawyer who, of all places, lives in Florida. And she freaked the fuck out because she's like, I'm gonna lose my fucking notary status. I'm gonna lose everything that I have here. And she gave me access to their bank account.
Oh wow.
I have screenshots of all their bank for like 5 months.
That's huge.
Yeah. And so I was like reaching out to Palm Beach County, like, it's going to have to come from your jurisdiction because that's where this company's licensed out.
Right.
Even though it's happening in the state, you're going to be the one that has to do it. So I don't know if they took that and that's what kind of helped build it up or not. But it probably took 4 or 5 phone calls before I was finally put in contact with somebody. Just because having to pester them so hard.
And then how soon after that?
I talked to them. God, that was probably early November. I talked to him.
Okay.
And he didn't get picked up until 27th.
That's crazy.
So I don't know if they were just monitoring him and his activities, just kind of further building a case and everything against him, and then just finally said, okay, we've got enough to like really make a strong case, or what? Or if they just put it on the back burner and finally got to it, I don't know. But all I do know is that was probably one of the best things that I woke up to that day was realizing that piece of shit got arrested.
I remember when I hit the group chat and I was like, oh, awesome. Good job, guys. It was kind of like out of nowhere because it was in May and everything else happened in the fall. And with everything else that's been going on, kind of goes away. Everyone kind of forgets about it until it comes back up. Like, there's a lot of times when we definitely lean on Kay a lot. The whole group does. any of us, specifically even today. Kay came back today, this morning. He was like, sorry guys, I took a week off or however long it was. Like it was like 8 or 9 days. It's like, sorry guys, I know you guys needed me. Like he was being sarcastic, like you were nothing without me.
No.
But yeah, so he came back and it was just like the cases or the trial for what's his name is today, and
I wonder if we can get
Glover's
him
coming
to
up.
docket on that.
He probably I don't know what else it is. The big thing that I did realize, and now we have to kind of I guess we don't have to. If you guys would like me to, you can put it in the comments. I need to go back and revise all the links on all the Glover videos because since his account is suspended right now, if you click on any of those old links to go to the big long threads, it doesn't exist.
Oh.
And that's when we were starting today for the live stream.
When did his account get suspended?
Weeks ago. He's still fighting it.
For what?
For impersonating himself. Remember?
Oh. I thought we were talking about Glover.
No.
Now I understand
Kay's
you're
account.
talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Kay's account. I thought you were saying Glover's account got suspended. That's what I said when
No,
that
he
happened.
self-deleted his account because everybody was freaking dogging the fuck out of him so much because he got accused of raping a woman.
Yep.
Wait, do I know about this? I don't know about that.
So we had
That's why
That
I thought
was Glover, was it not?
That's why I thought you were talking
He-
about the other YouTuber. 'cause
the
I don't know.
original case last May.
Out of Maryland, right?
Merritt.
Is that who is that Glover who has
No,
that?
No.
you're talking about Massachusetts. That was
Well, no, Massachusetts was Zach.
yeah.
It was one out of Maryland.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. We have 2 women, I think, over the last couple months that have like reached out weirdly.
Glover is in
Was that Glover?
He's
in
in Utah.
Utah.
I don't think it was Glover then who did that one. Who's the one?
I don't know.
He was like always posting fake shit. God damn it! Somebody in the group will know. I'll have to ask him. But yeah, there was one that was out there for a while. That was he had actually assaulted a couple women. At least one that we know of with the police report, and he was like all over at the community and everything. And we got him hemmed up. He self-deleted all of his shit.
There was a chick last year. Or no, was it this year? The older woman that.
That was literally like 2 months ago.
No. I'm not talking about the most recent one. I'm not talking about the one that just messaged us on Instagram or
No,
Facebook or whatever.
I'm not
it was.
talking about her. Talking about the one who was in the comments saying
That was like February then.
okay.
So we had this woman reached out. I guess she didn't reach out. She was in our comments. First, she started defending Mike. Every comment was, and it was always like that boomer, like typo, run on sentence. It's hard to understand what the hell they're actually talking about.
Whacked your head off a keyboard a couple times.
Yeah. So she's like, he's a great guy. You shouldn't talk about him, all this other nonsense. And then she was responding to other commenters and they were having conversations back and forth. And then she said something else. And then I responded after like 3 or 4 comments that she had across several videos because the story that she had woven started to sound like she was being catfished because she was talking about how she loved him and all this other stuff. And this is a woman who is probably in her 60s.
And not just loved him, but she was talking about how
they were going to run off together.
Basically, and how she was supposed to go out to be with him, and then he was going to come be with her. And
What was she fucking converting to Mormonism?
So here I am though, right?
okay, is he though?
I mean, he lives in Utah.
Nobody has confirmed that.
I can
Is
only
he
assume.
LDS? That's what my assumption
I
was
can only
as
assume if he's
well.
living in Utah.
I don't know.
I live close enough to them fuckers over there, so I mean,
Yeah, so she, slowly she started saying some things that kind of hinted at maybe she was being catfished and she had her money taken because I mean that's even us. Like they haven't been able to do anything with it, but there have been small little accounts that try and pop up and try and impersonate us. But once you reach his level, for one, it's not his job to police it. It's not, what are you going to do?
yeah.
So, and there's also the times when you don't actually even know that it's even going on, which might have been the case for this. He might have never even known. So here I am. We're talking about his case. We're talking about all these things that have happened. And here I am, in a way, kind of having to defend him
Right.
because,
like, no, crazy lady, he's not in a relationship with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
He's in a relationship with this other person
Yeah.
who he is on trial for.
yeah. She's like, I told him that he should have left her long ago, and we were supposed to meet up, and we're supposed to do this. I'm like, are you sure you're actually talking to him?
See, and that's the thing. Is like, as much as I hate some people like Ralph, Diane, you know, and their kind, you almost have to have like a certain amount of empathy towards people. You know,
Towards
regardless.
their victims.
Well, I mean, definitely to the victims. You know, empathy and sympathy, but even like towards them, just have some empathy because, like, it's not that. The way I've always looked at it is like, yes, they're doing horrible shit, but what is their self-esteem like to get to that point? Like how fucking much do you hate yourself that you can't be honest about who you are?
Well, they do say that
You know.
narcissists in general are the people who hate themselves the most.
Oh, absolutely. I'm narcissistic as shit. I'll admit it all day, but like I'm just an outright asshole. You know, is how I get. You know, when it comes down to it, half the time. But it's like, you know, freaking, how much do you fucking hate who you are that you have to lie about every single bit of your existence to every, like, people you've never met in your life, that you have to go out of your fucking way just to tell some bullshit story about who you are? Like, that's ridiculous. And like, not only the point where you're just going to lie about who you are, but you're going to go to the point of fucking stealing money from people
Right.
based upon that lie. And then you're going to get pissed off when people finally catch on and like, bro, you're fucking full of shit.
It used to work up until about 10 years ago or so when people started posting mugshots online, and you could find that information freely. Because if a crime happened in, I don't know, New York or Florida or Texas or California or wherever,
Right. A decade ago, we would have no knowledge of it unless it made national news.
Yeah. So it was easy to lie to people. It was easy to scam. You didn't have the Anthonys running around and checking everybody's DD-214s and things like that. You didn't have any of these organizations that would actually procure this, at least not for any less than a lot of money. You would have to hire a PI. You would have to actually investigate stuff. But now you can go and ask any chatbot.
This little thing right here.
Yep.
There's so much fucking information that you can discern from 5 clicks.
And for anybody that is interested in investigating and being a reporter, journalist, podcaster, PI, whatever, all you have to do is start, and then you will find ways to find the other information.
Not to say that you should be a scam artist.
No.
Don't encourage going down that path.
No, I'm saying if people are worried, if they're like, this seems too good to be true, or this is kind of sketchy, or whatever. It's like that woman, after she came back a couple times, then she came and was like, Mike stole so much money from me. And we're like, okay, like, I can't do anything for you. You need to report it to the police. And they're like, well, they won't do anything. I'm like, I can't do anything either. I don't know. Like, I understand that you're trying.
Well, if that lady is watching, all right, what I will say is this: if it was in excess of $5,000, go to the FBI. It's a federal crime at that.
And they do have the IC3 complaint portal, where even if you're not sure if it meets their criteria, you can go to ic3.gov and you can type in everything with your claim, provide screenshots, and they'll either tell you whether or not they're going to pursue it or whether it's going to be added to another case or not. So I've done it a couple times. Taken down, as you know, an entire medical company.
I haven't seen anything positive come out of catfishing and the person trying to get their money back. Usually the authorities say there's no way to actually get it back.
Well, a lot of times that's for a few reasons. Most of the time it's because it's from foreign entities. Really big in India, like all these freaking, what is it? Everything from the Amazon ones to the current one that I get a lot of phone calls for is your state has recently updated your Medicaid benefits. If you have Medicaid's parts A and B, like new cards and everything like that. I get that phone call at least 50 times a day. And so, I mean, those are typically the ones that I get right now, but those are all coming out of India. There's no way they can do anything with that.
I actually just saw there's a new malware that's on both Android and iOS that can change your contact information. So say you have my number saved in your phone, right, as whatever. They can go and change the phone numbers or add phone numbers so that their scammer call number looks like it's coming from me in your contacts. So to get around like call screen like I have, or locking down your phone to only accept text or calls from somebody that's in your contacts, they can get around that by literally just changing your contacts. You can get a call from your boss and be like, why do you sound so weird? Or they could be using, now with all the different AI voice changing technology, they could literally sound like your boss.
We had a theory a couple of months ago about all these companies outsourcing to India. And so their day job is working for all these big banks like Chase, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
And then their night job is going over to their scam.
Oh,
and
it
they've
wouldn't
taken
surprise me.
all of their information from their day job.
Yeah, because
It really wouldn't surprise me.
as they're sitting there typing in your information,
Right.
they could be running a keylogger so they
Right.
don't have to write it down, or they could literally be writing it down.
Right.
Oh, here's your name, here's your address, here's your email, here's the last four of your social,
Yeah.
here's your bank, here's all of your information.
Yep.
And then they go right to their scam job. So they make pennies on the dollar on their day job
Right.
just to go crush you on their night job.
Yep.
Wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't.
And then, so you know how everyone's talked about how China's in the
Speaking of which, there's one right there. Yeah, hold on, let's see if I can get him to answer. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Good afternoon. My name is Cindy. The new Trump administration has changed the Medicare policy for your state of Colorado. So before we go any further, it's important that I verify. You currently have both Part A and Part B of Medicare, right?
Yep.
That's amazing. You're qualified for the newly upgraded plans I'm offering. I'm sure you can find great value with us. I'm just connecting you to my benefit specialist now.
benefit specialist who's already on the phone. They're just running a prompt.
Hello, this is Carol. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. How are you?
This call is in regards to your inquiry about Medicare Advantage plan. Do you have Medicare Part A and Part B?
I do.
Can I ask how old are you?
Old enough to tell you I wish you'd rip some dick dingers off the top of my tip with some cocaine, you fucking whore.
Oh my fucking god!
Speak of the devil.
Yeah,
How long did it take?
They were listening. Oh, have you gotten in on the Siri class action suit? Speaking
Oh, seriously.
Dude, so okay, so are you familiar with Mocha or oh my gosh, called Powerland?
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't remember. So okay, so there are devices that you can buy. So if you live in a house that doesn't have Ethernet wire,
Mm-hmm.
like an older house or even phone jack, anything like that, that you could pull in a wire through, or if you don't want to go through that process of, snaking wires, you can get these adapters. There's it's power line is what it's called. So there's power line adapters that can turn your outlets in your house into part of your LAN network. So you plug one in next to your router, and then all of the outlets in your house that are on that circuit now have access to that same connection. You just plug another device into the next outlet wherever you need it, connect a LAN cable to whatever you want, or
that's sweet.
a Wi-Fi, whatever. So with China having access to America's infrastructure, this is completely speculation, but if you are able to send those signals through existing infrastructure, in theory, somebody that has access to the grid could open everyone's garage door at the same time, turn off your internet at the same time, send commands to your computer because it's anything that's connected to the power.
Or maybe like what happened in 2024 when all of a sudden all the shipping computer programs went down. You know, I don't know. Maybe just a theory.
You don't have to have access to the internet. They have access to the power grid. They can send those signals through to devices. I'm out of my league talking about this outside of theory, right? But I know that it's possible because you can literally have an internet connection over your existing house wiring. So it has to be possible that at the grid level, they could send information packets to devices connected on your network.
So when you get a call tomorrow regarding possible attacks that you might be encouraging, I don't know him. I don't associate with
Hi,
this
is
man.
this Andrew? Yeah, it is. Sir, we're with the FBI.
Right, right.
Yeah. You weren't supposed to out
Homeland
us like that.
Security.
No, but you know, when you're a useful idiot like myself in this case, they're just like, that's not possible, right? Like they're not going to admit that it's possible until there is that first big attack.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Well, even then, 5-6 years later is when you're going to finally find out what really happened.
Yep. And then people are going to be like, oh my God, that conspiracy theorist talked about it 10 years ago. And you're like, in my case, I wasn't being conspiracy theorist. I'm just giving you theory.
Alex Jones, they turned to freaking frogs again.
Yeah. But like, and that's the problem with conspiracy theorists, right? Once they get something small right, now they really believe that everything that they're saying is correct.
It's the Nostradamus effect.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
really is at the end of the day.
Yeah, these people are like, oh, they'll give you 10 items, right? 9 of them are so far-fetched and outlandish, it's not even possible. But they'll give you one that's like reasonable, right? And then that reasonable one comes true. So now they tell you everything they've ever said is right.
It works every time.
Yep.
Haven't we been marked as conspiracy theorists?
I'm sure we have in some way, shape, but
All I'm going to say is that 20% of the time, it works 100% of the time.
there you go. Yep. Yep.
You
But-
sound more and more like Andrew.
And so these two lights right here, right? What I was saying in the chat this morning,
Mm-hmm.
on Sunday when that storm came through, we came back from the beach. I powered on the mini PC because I've been doing this thing since it came in last week where I power cycle it, let it come. I literally just set it up yesterday, fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I power cycle it, let it sit with the TV on, no peripherals or anything attached, just the TV, that keyboard and mouse so I can control it, and that's it. And then I would turn it off after a period of time. The next day I would do the same thing. No rhyme or reason how long I left it on. I just was doing it. So we came back from the beach. I turned it on, let the dogs out, go take a shower, and I come back downstairs, and that light are on, and the computer's off. The thing that they had in common, that light and that light are in the wall outlets. These two are connected to the UPS. They did not come on. They're also controlled differently. Those two are controlled with a remote. These two are controlled with an app.
Man, y'all brought me to a motherfucking haunted house.
But there was a big lightning strike, and I was up there, and the door was open, and I had said something to her. She was like, "There was lightning," but I knew I thought I had seen something like in here. It's not to say that it wasn't lightning right out here, right? And just
Haunted house.
yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
So yeah, so then here I am wondering if the mini PC that I was trying to rule out, if potentially the UPS, the uninterrupted power supply surge protector, whatever you want to call it, if that was the problem. So I have it plugged into the wall, and now it's fucking fried because I plugged it into the goddamn wall. The only time any computer we've ever owned has not been plugged into a battery backup, and it fucking shuts off from a power surge. But fortunately it works. So
Nice.
yep.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. But yeah, so anything else? Now that we're at the kind of tail end of this Ralph Avalon, Mike Glover.
No, well, I will say this to anybody who's watching: if you have any kind of issues or something like that that you'd like to be looked into, feel free to reach out.
So I actually, and I'll put this out now. I'll have it up by the time we get this episode out, which should be tomorrow. We're gonna have a tips email address for the podcast. So it's gonna be tips.
Just the tip.
Yeah, I could make that too.
Ooh.
That'll be an alias. So it'll be just the tip. It'll be the same mailbox. Don't think you're emailing two different ones. You don't have to CC both. It's the same thing. Tips at he'swrongshe'sright.com. Because I was gonna say that if anybody wanted to reach out with information about Avallone or Glover or anything like that,
or just in general, if like even if you're not in North Carolina, I know a lot of these people have transferred over to even like Tennessee, with what they've been going through with flooding and everything, and now all the tornadoes and stuff they're having. They're doing it there. They're doing it throughout all of Tornado Alley right now. As we get more and more into hurricane season, God knows it's going to happen again. Just reach out. I mean, we are based out of North Carolina for the most part. But we have people that are all the way across the southern states. We have one person who's up in New Jersey right now. That's a part of the team. If another guy, I don't know where the hell he's from. He's another one. Johnny Silverhand? Yeah, he's another one who's kind of there as well. But he's a part of it too. But honestly, nationwide, we'll look at anyone. If you want a quick and dirty way to tell your friends, family members, grandparents, people that aren't tech savvy, how to look into these nonprofit organizations, ask them for EIN. Well, not just that. So that's going a little bit more technical. If you want the really, really, really Apple method, right, of doing this, go on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and try and start a fundraiser for the organization that you're planning on donating to. If they do not come up in Facebook or X or YouTube's list, then they are not part of GuideStar or Network for Good, which means that they have not submitted transparency documents and potentially also don't exist at all. So if you really want the foolproof way of not having to go through like the IRS website and all that other stuff, go to Facebook, start a new post, create a fundraiser, type in the organization, find their logo or name, whatever. If it doesn't exist, they're probably not actually a 501c3. They will not be listed if they aren't. You cannot be on there without being...
Did you double check that for that guy?
Yeah. I've also double checked it. Remember when I looked into Nick years ago? Not Palmachano. Nick. Realtor Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not because he hasn't filed his taxes for 3 years.
Pull up your phone right now, see if that still exists. I don't have my phone on me.
GuideStar.
Because he was just on Good Morning America this past year for how amazing.
Well, I mean,
that's... Good Morning America doesn't fucking vet anybody. We're being completely honest.
So, okay, GuideStar.
So yeah, show them.
What was his name? Saint Nick or something like that? Saint Nick Foundation?
Yeah, Saint Nick Foundation, something like that.
Saint Nick Foundation. And you only get one search on GuideStar the first time unless you create an account. One search. Is it? Oh, there we go. Little Saint Nick, St. Nicholas Christmas Foundation, Wilmington, North Carolina. EIN is 83-281-4491. To raise funds that support our two main initiatives, St. Nick's Wish List and Santa's Teddy Bear Drive, blah, blah, blah. Gross receipts, $0. Assets, $0. But somehow he's platinum. And then there's another St. Nicholas Foundation. So there's several now.
Yeah, there's a lot of St. Nicholas's on there.
Yeah.
I meant pull up your Facebook and do exactly what you were telling them to do.
Oh, okay. You just create a post.
Right.
Yeah. So,
with that foundation.
Okay. So, or is it raise money? Is that what it is?
I think so.
Yeah. Raise money. Yeah. Search for a nonprofit to support. Look, the second one on the list right there is ours, Veteran Wiki. Go create a fundraiser for Veteran Wiki right now.
That's all it was. It was a fucking... It was a spot to freaking plug the nonprofit, huh?
Yep. No, but that's, I mean, it's...
Did you search it?
No.
That's, oh my god.
Sorry.
It was a money scam the whole fucking time.
Oh my
What did I say? A
god.
Saint Nicholas?
This is having conversations with him. It's like pulling teeth.
St. Nicholas Christmas Foundation, Mel Streeter, and 856 others like this nonprofit, Health and Human Services in Wilmington, North Carolina. So yes.
Health and Human Services.
So they're okay. The categories are weird. The categories are really weird. Like they don't let you say what you
So
want.
hold on, time out. You just proved yourself wrong.
Well, as long as he's paid up with his taxes now.
Yeah. He is on
You
GuideStar
just
now.
got through saying that he hadn't done his taxes in 3 years.
Hadn't when the last time we looked into it.
Okay, and
But
that was
remember-
over 2 years
But
ago. was
remember,
the
I
last
made
time.
a very
Right.
public
you
issue
made,
about
You made
it.
a big stink about it because he was running for HOA president, and you were like, the HOA president doesn't
He
even.
was running for town council first. He lost that seat, and then he ran for HOA.
You did not make a stink about it when he ran for town council, and you voted for him.
Because I didn't know about it at the time. So then, okay, let's look up, what was Ralph's?
Patriot Survival Tactical Team, I think.
Patriot. And I'm on Facebook, by the way, guys. Like, so what I said was giving or
Raise money.
Raise money.
Patriot Survival.
Tactical team.
Well, just typing in Patriot Survival, nothing comes up.
Yeah. Patriot Survival Tactical Team.
And that's, do they specifically say 501c3 or anything like
Oh, yeah.
that? Yeah. So this is on Facebook, no results. Patriot Survival Tactical is no results.
Did you spell Patriot correctly?
Oh,
Yes, I did.
huh. Look at that. Created 8 months ago. Hmm.
Does it have
convenient.
like the or anything like that in it?
It doesn't matter because
No.
No, no, no. It actually does, because I learned that with IAC Kids when I did a fundraiser for my birthday 3 years ago for IAC Kids.
You can see it right
IC
there.
Kids comes up by talking about IC Kids, but it says it's about care for kids.
Right.
See, if you look at it right there on the bottom, it says we are a 501c3.
Yeah, that's, I don't know what kind of fraud that is, but that's definitely fraud because, I mean, we can go and look this up. We can actually go on the IRS and actually look. But what I'm telling people
What's
is
weird about it is they're filing as legitimate 501c3 every time they do this because they have a couple of other individuals who have been a part of their group as well. Every single one of them has an EIN, and the EIN is valid.
Yeah.
But what they do is they run the company for a year, never pay the taxes on it, let the state shut down the nonprofit, and then just walk away with them. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the ways they've been getting away with it. Is to the state, all
Well,
the state sees is that it was a 501c3 that never filed. They'll give them warnings for like 2-3 months. Hey, you never filed your taxes. We're going to revoke your 501c3 status. We're going to revoke your 501c3 status. We're going to revoke your 501c3. Okay, cool. You don't want to do it. Guess what? We just revoked it. They don't give a shit. They shut it down, take all the money out, and then walk away. And that's how they've done it everywhere they've been. So
but your first,
they'll literally go make over like with Hurricane Helene. We know of donations that went into them from like major corporations, like not going to say their names because I don't want them, like they would sue the shit out of me. But like massive corporations who donated well over $100,000 at a time to this organization, saying that they were helping with Hurricane Helene.
Okay.
They never use the funds for what they say they're going to use it for. And then at the end of the year, when they have to file again for 501c3 status, they just won't file. They'll pull all the money out of the bank account, shut the company down, and essentially the state shuts them down. They'll turn around 2 months later and reopen another one. Different name. Ralph alone, he has, last time we pulled his information, I want to say it was 19. It was 19 different 501c3s or businesses that he's opened. And not a damn one of them outside of this one right here is open.
It's a lot of effort.
I mean, compared to
Literally
paying,
takes 2 hours to set one up. 2 hours, a few emails, and like $300.
so
Yeah, but it's effort in general to put on a persona, scam people,
But
the constant lying. That is so
You're right,
much
but
effort.
You're right, but if you could walk away with almost $1 million in 9 months, would you do it?
No.
No, I'm just saying, like you had to bust your ass to like essentially be an actress for 9 months. but you're going to be guaranteed
I
anywhere from
can't lie in general.
to $1
And
million.
so that would just be so much anxiety for me of just,
We
can't.
literally just told this to a bartender at a place. She was asking if Nona actually liked something. And I was like,
yeah.
I was like, no, she would tell you if she didn't. And she was like, no, it wouldn't. I was like, okay, maybe she wouldn't specifically say that she didn't like it,
I
but
would
what
say,
she would do
oh,
is
it's really good.
you would hear it in her voice.
As I'm like,
She would treat
choking
you
it
like
down.
she would treat you like a child. Nice macaroni picture. It looks so good.
Good job. Good job. You did. so
What
good.
the shit? She was talking to me like that before the podcast. What the
Yep,
hell, man?
Yep. Happens all the time.
You guys are so mean.
What I think, so I guess we should say, like, obviously we're not an authority on this in any way, but if you would like, because we are, I mean, Nona, the reason that she went off on this, because her family members have farm and everything that was affected out there. That's why she was so passionate. If you guys want to watch that episode, I'll link it so you guys can watch it. Since only 43 people apparently have watched it out of thousands that had originally. Send us, info at tips. You can also reach out to any of us on X. You can reach out to the podcast on X. It's probably going to be the easiest way because everybody else has such, for a good reason, spam filters are crazy. So if we're not following you already, it's not going to work. So send an email, gives us a central place. I'll add all the guys to it. That way everybody has access to it. We have all the information. Somebody can package it all up and give it to whatever authorities. But if you donated to his organization, Ralph Avalon specifically is what we're talking about, make sure you take screenshots. It's probably way too late to say it was fraud or file anything like that. Can't imagine.
I don't know if there's a statute. Well, I don't know. I mean, there's got to be a statute of limitations, and I highly doubt that it's 9 months.
But if your bank specifically, I guess I should say, your bank or PayPal, whoever you paid through, they're probably not going to give you your money back. They're probably going to tell you how to go through the authorities. So,
but honestly, even though he's already in custody for this stuff, file a police report.
Yep,
absolutely file one.
Yep.
And you're not going to want to file it through your local one. You're going to want to file through Palm Beach County because that's where he's currently incarcerated.
Especially if it was over $1,000.
Oh, absolutely.
That'll stick a lot harder than like $10.
Because anything over $750 is a felony. And so, when you get down to the nuts and bolts of it, Palm Beach County is the one that's doing it. You're probably going to have to give like a statement online, or they'll email you the form where you have to fill it out, get it notarized, and then scan it, email it back. However it is they have to do it. Even if you can't get your money back, you can help ensure that this piece of shit never fucking gets out.
Yep.
And at this point, I mean, he's facing up to 5 years for each charge. So so
the more charges, the better.
Just the 3 charges that he has for the 3 felonies he was just arrested for, he's looking at 15 years. Unless
he takes a plea deal.
Well, unless they were to have him go concurrently, and say, you're serving all 3 sentences at at the same time.
Oh fuck no.
And but still, even then, I think because they're all class 3 felonies, I think each one of them is up to 5 years in prison, $5,000 in fine, and 5-year probation. So at the bare minimum, you could be looking at 10 years with this guy's under the watchdog group, watchful eye of a probation officer in the prison system. And granted, when you get to his age, he's never going to change his behavior. He's never going to change his activity.
Well,
he's always going to be the same. But the thing is one, he's made death threats to people. I know he's done that, and he brags about his firearms. If he's convicted in the state of Florida, he loses his right to firearms with these felonies. 2,
haven't they already been taken away for the domestic?
As far as I know, the weapon that he used to intimidate her was seized as evidence, but none of his other ones were seized. But he also has weapons in the state of North Carolina because he travels here so frequently.
Oh my, lovely.
One of the things that I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but even if you're charged but haven't been arraigned or haven't actually been convicted, you're supposed to get rid of them, by which they mean like maybe a family member, sell them, whatever. They can't be in your position while you're going or possession while you're going
Technically, until you're sentenced.
Yep.
No, technically, until you're sentenced, you have every right.
Because there's always the possibility of not.
Of getting acquitted
Right.
or charges dropped or whatever it is. So technically, until you were found guilty and you were sentenced, like to the point where everyone wanted to keep saying like the whole thing with like, not to bring politics into it, like the whole thing with Donald Trump, talking about convicted rapist, he's going to get sentenced. Until they found him guilty of 34 felonies or whatever the hell it was for that was for the tax shit with Stormy Daniels. But even though they said they found him guilty, he's got 2 phones. I got a work phone or I got a personal phone.
Sure, it's a work phone.
They kept saying he's a convicted felon. It's like, no, he's not a convicted felon yet. He was never sentenced. So until he is sentenced, he is not considered a convicted felon. So,
Yep. The technicalities.
Sentencing is what means.
And that's where all of the defamation and slander and every other kind of fucking lawsuit comes into play, because you use the wrong word. Just because you believe something, just because something
Make
is
sure to
true,
always say allegedly in
just,
front.
Just because something is true doesn't mean you're allowed to say it is true.
Andrew, it's allegedly true.
Yeah.
Or objectively.
Yep. So, yeah. Well, with that being said, like I said, guys, if you have any information you want us to weaponize our combined autism, there are 65 of us in this group. If you would like us, and that's only, I'm not even going to say the name.
That's just our GC group.
That's only East Coast. We have 65 people on the East Coast, and I guess kind of the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, because we have some people from Louisiana.
Yeah. And some observers. People in other states that are outside of this region.
Like some very, very, very nice people who need to follow me back one of these days, who happen to be very famous snipers.
Nick.
Oh, are you a Nick fan?
Oh, diehard.
Wait, did he follow you on your when he had the old account?
No, he never.
I'm gonna text him right now.
You have his number even. What the hell, man? This
He
is
invited
bullshit.
us to a dinner party the other day.
Oh, did
and
he really?
Texted right back. He was like, "Are you in North Carolina?" ? Like,
Yeah.
did you forget that we don't live in Texas? So okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna text him right now.
He seems super nice.
He's
Very
he's
chill.
Every interaction
Very
that I've
chill.
seen, like in the GC or like just on posts in general, he seems like a really badass guy.
Yeah. He's super nice. He, in a way, he kind of reminds me of Alex, my uncle.
Mm-hmm. He's been through it and now just super chill.
Yeah. He's just kind of like, whatever. Everything's whatever now. So how do you spell it? And you can spell it out for them too. It's
Oh god, I can't remember what it is. I think it's like not Z3 music, and I think it's what I go under now. You said, as you were saying earlier, how many backup accounts do you have? Ha ha ha.
You said
Yeah,
4.
it's, not Z3 music.
And now
is
you
my
have
name.
to tell us the story as to why it's not Z3 music.
Because Z3 Music Official was my account that I had beforehand. I had, I think, just under 4,000 followers.
Okay.
And again, I say mean words to people.
Mm-hmm.
And I may have said a word that started with F.
Okay.
And ends with, well, it kind of rhymes with maggot.
Oh.
And
Okay.
it was definitely to somebody who deserved it.
Okay.
And that got me a strike. But the one that got me banned, okay. Do you ever get like random weirdos like trying to like DM you like crazy shit?
so from the onset, I've had things pretty strict
Mm-hmm.
where I have to follow you or whatever, like we have to have interacted or I have to, whatever those.
Yeah, see, I never put any of those restrictions in there because like the people I talk shit to, I want them to talk back. Like, please DM me.
Mm-hmm.
Please DM me so I can put you on blast and put on a post. And so this like random girl like DM'd me. She slid into my DMs.
Mm-hmm.
And like I opened the DM and I didn't recognize the name or anything. I should have recognized like something was off at that point, but it said image, and it was just like this chick, just like spread eagle, like letting it like it was aggressively in your face, like,
Mhm.
and I think it said something like, "If you like what you see, follow my Tinsley" or some shit like that, which I don't know what the hell Tinsley is. I don't know, like the new OnlyFans or
I'm
something.
not Googling it.
I wasn't. And I was like, "What the?"
Meanwhile,
fuck?
it's probably top of his search history.
Right, but
Whatever.
so I never mentioned her name. I immediately deleted it. Never said a name. Never screenshotted it or anything. But I put a post up. It was my good morning post because every day I did a good morning post. I said good morning to good morning to everyone. But the main crux of it was I said, just a FYI, if your vagina looks like a hippo yawning, please don't DM it to me randomly. It's not welcomed. And 10 minutes later, my account was just gone.
It's probably just because you wrote the word vagina.
So, yeah. So that's the one that got that account.
Fun.
So what's your favorite kind of music, since music is obviously important to you and is
So
in
I
your
actually
handle?
I used to rap off and on, and
I would never have pictured. Okay.
And to be completely honest, like even with you kind of know my background and my history and everything like that, I listen to pretty much underground drill rap. Like is like my shit.
Never
Oh.
have guessed. Never.
Especially like UK drill rap. Free LD.
Okay.
All right, free LD. That man is innocent.
I don't know. If you guys know who that is, drop it in the
We should
comments.
keep it that way. Like literally, my entire feed is like nothing but underground rap.
Would never have guessed.
Every single bit of it.
Wow.
That's like all I listen
He
No,
hates
no.
rap.
I don't hate rap. I just don't like any.
He
kind of
hates rap.
No, I'll still listen to like Tech Nine. I'll still listen to.
Okay, so the thing that I love about these guys, it's not commercialized at all.
Mhm.
Like half of these guys, 3/4 of these guys are phenomenal artists. Like they would have an amazing mainstream career, but they legitimately talk about the shit they've done and like location. Like this, and like the big thing with the UK scene is they censor everything. They all wear masks. They all wear gloves, even in their videos and everything. Because out there, they'll use your lyrics against you.
Mm-hmm.
And so like they'll mask up.
They'll
the-
use
the-
your
the-
memes against you in court too.
True.
You can be arrested for memes in the UK.
Yes, you've told me.
Yeah, but they so they censor everything, and so
Mhm.
like I did like the deep dive. Like I know what gang beats who like they'll start talking about incidences and shit like that. Like every censor is either like a name, a location, or something, or like a weapon that was used.
Mhm.
And now I listen to it. I'm like, oh shit, I know exactly what incident he's talking about. I know exactly what that's about. I get so fucking excited. My wife hates it. She apps a fucking.
Have you watched The Gentleman? Matthew McConaughey.
I don't think I have.
Watch it because that's the kind of music that's in it.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Okay.
That's like
And
the,
no, for
And
the
also
record,
the stories that are in it.
it is not strictly, like I said, UK and stuff like that. It's not strictly Chicago. It's not just the freaking King Von versus Duck versus Wooski. It's New York, LA, freaking the UK. I'm huge in all across the board. I love it all. I can't get enough of that shit.
I think you're invested in the story.
A lot of it is the story, and it's I had a little bit of a wayward youth myself, so like some of it I can kind of relate to. Not like killing somebody in that regard, but it's like there's certain things where it was like, okay, I get the environment, and it's, at the end of the day, a lot of these guys they're using it as an opportunity to get out.
Mhm.
It's like they're really good at it. Yeah, they're not mainstream by any means. Like Central C, you ever hear Central C on the radio?
no.
Okay, so he kind of came up in the scene as like a underground rapper, went mainstream, and now it's kind of come out that everything he was saying was kind of bullshit. That it wasn't him; it was everyone around him, and he was just kind of taking credit for it. So he's lost like a lot of credibility. But guys like Hetty One and Abracadabra from OFB Crew and Getz, Dave, Chip, there's a bunch of them out there that have really forwarded like the grime scene, the drill scene, that have rapped about what they've done in their past and their history. Like they're honest about it, like talking about beating the shit out of people, but it's like I've never caught a body. It's like most guys would be like, I killed 7 people and I blah, blah, but they're like, nah, that's the only thing I haven't done. Yeah, I've done all this other shit. I've sold drugs. I did this. I did the gang war thing, stabbed this guy, beat the fuck out of that guy. Never killed no one. So I don't have that on my conscience kind of thing. It's like, like I like the honesty.
So there's a Tupac went to my home, or not Tupac, I'm sorry. No, I mean he had been there too, but fuck, what's his name? Twista. That's what I was thinking, T-word. He had a concert in South Bend when I was in like, I don't know if I was in middle school or high school, whatever it was. But there used to be, and we actually drove past this. It's completely changed from what it was back then, because there used to be like a Super Kmart, or no, what was the big version of Kmart? Was it Super Kmart?
Yeah.
Super K.
So there was like a Super Kmart. There was a couple other things at this intersection.
That's how old are you? Middle school.
Yeah, yeah.
Kmart. Jesus.
And it's like a main drag through town. It's actually the same road that my parents' neighborhood is off of. It's just way like it's kind of like going on College Road and telling somebody you're on college, and it's
Okay. So
big,
anyways,
long stretch.
Twista was
Yeah.
coming to town.
Yeah, so he performed, and then people would go. They called it going up on 20, and it was like they would just fill these parking lots. There was a you guys don't have this around here. It's the Big Boy restaurant. There was King Euros, a couple others. And people would go into the Super Kmart parking lot, and they would all have their cars there and rev their engines and their lights and their Lamborghini doors and all the other kind of nonsense. And so he and his group went up there, and there's a gang at that time. I don't know if they're still prevalent or not in South Bend that like was opposing the gang that Twista was in. And they pulled up thinking that they were hot shit. And his entire crew got their ass beat right there in the Kmart parking lot. And this was in the era of people having like their video cameras that had like the cassette tapes in them and holding them on the shoulder like the boombox kind of thing. And I have seen video of it. I never saw him in the video, but they clearly had much nicer cars, because this was still when the like, I don't know what you want to call them, the like the West Coast cars where they have the small like baby Dayton and like the hydraulics and stuff like that. So they pulled out there.
This was of the Pimp My Ride era.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And that, and then there's a guy named Comaine. Have you ever heard of him?
Yep.
Yeah, so he's from the area.
Okay.
But yeah, like I've listened to that kind of stuff. I don't like any, but it's just, I guess actually realistically it's the same thing with metal. The majority of metal and rock songs that make it to the radio, as you would like anything that like gets a spin somewhere, right? That's traditionally not the song that I would prefer on that album.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of commercialized music. Yeah. I think it's
any of the bands that I like the songs that aren't ever played on the radio.
Yeah,
and
that's exactly how because to me it's like the whole thing is like friggin' every song that comes on the radio, from like today, if you look at country music to pop music to whatever, it's the same fucking like 4 beats. It's the same 4 chords, same melody every single time. And they're all talking about the same stupid shit. And it's just monotonous every single time. Cause they all, I want to make the next, whether it's country club or, nightclub scene, I want to make the next, hit for the club. It's like, I want something that talks to me. I don't want the music that's just made for them. I want the music that speaks to me.
And people get really mad at me because I will actually...
Shocker.
I will post and say, this record is trash. Everything on here is horrible. Like the most recent All That Remains album. I've been a diehard All That Remains supporter for a long time. Phil and I had a falling out a couple of years ago, and I still listen to their music, and which... That's about me making a comment about how Tim Pool paid his paycheck. So, like, I still listen to it, but the latest album that just came out, like, there's like nothing good on it, which is really bad because the guy that replaced Ollie, Jason Reeves Richardson, super talented. I don't like his music that he produces for himself, like independently, because it's like really weird. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's It's just not anything that is appealing to me, but he's super talented. So it kind of feels like they squandered his talent.
Lost opportunities.
Yeah. It's,
I mean, and to be completely fair with, especially like All That Remains and stuff. I mean, they've been around for 25 years now.
yeah.
Them, and then what was the other one? They used to have a old black guy that was their lead singer, and now it's some skinny ass white guy. What the? Not Five Finger Death Punch.
The only thing I
Kill
could
Switch
think,
Engage. It took me a second.
oh,
to
it's
think
gone. Dang, I had a notification that Killswitch released a new song.
Oh, did they?
No, it was because there was a white singer originally.
Yeah,
And then it became
he left, and then
the dude from Hootie and the Blowfish.
It wasn't the guy from.
You think they all
definitely-
look the same, Andrew?
It definitely was not Hootie and the Blowfish.
What's his name?
Darius Rucker is who you're thinking of, and that obviously is not the right one.
Hold on.
Oh my god, you think they all look the
That's
same?
no, I'm not being racist. You're being racist. Stop being
Howard
racist.
Jones.
Andrew.
What else is he in?
He left music completely.
But what else was he in besides Killswitch?
Kill Switch, as far as I know, but he left music entirely
swear.
because I think it was type 2 diabetes that he has, and it was like being on the road was just like fucking him up really bad. So for medical purposes and health purposes, he left.
Food and
But back then, I fucking loved him.
I swear.
Oh my
I
god, don't die on that hill. That is the
I
wrong
don't-
hill to die on.
I'm trying to think who else did what else or he has his own country thing,
You want to go
right?
grab him a shovel real quick?
There's already one outside by the garden.
Andrew.
Well,
Just digging it deeper and deeper.
Yes. You're like, I swear I'm right.
Bud. That motherfucker's saying, "Let her cry."
then there's also times like okay, so talking about Five Finger Death Punch and Phil Labonte again. Bill has filled in for
Yeah.
What's his name when he had all of his like mental health crises
Mhm.
and stuff. So it's not like uncommon.
And then
for,
like Slipknot, Corey Taylor, he had two
Yeah.
other bands.
Yeah.
You know,
a lot of these guys will go on tour together, and then one
Mhm.
guy's like, I don't want to do it. And so one singer or guitarist or drummer from another band will fill in.
yeah. I mean, that is frequent.
Yeah.
I'll give you that, but it wasn't Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah. I don't see Darius Rucker going to heavy metal.
After this episode comes out tomorrow, I am blasting you so fucking hard. Like every chance I can.
Do a side-by-side picture of Darius Rucker and the other guy.
Oh,
like
if I-
Andrew thinks these are the same people.
If I remember to edit it in tonight, I will. I have to listen back through all 2 hours. So,
Okay.
I'm sorry that you have to listen to me for another 2 hours.
well, usually I listen to it at 150% speed. So,
Jesus.
but then I also use the transcripts to like find key moments.
If the highlight of this video is not that fucking scam piece of shit calling like the intro to it
It's
before.
him dying on this hill saying it's the same
if the
person.
first intro part is not either you
I-
thinking that Howard Jones was Darius Rucker
I feel like
or
I'm
that scammer.
being Mandela affected. This is like the
Nope.
fruit of the loom right now
Nope.
with the cornucopia.
Nope. You are wrong and you're trying to pretend like you didn't think that you were wrong.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. The email address, any information that I talked about in the episode will be in the description somewhere. I got to remember how to do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been quite a while
Yeah.
since you've edited an episode,
Yeah.
which is why we should go down to 2 episodes per week, not 3.
Bro.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday.
Tuesday and Thursday.
3 is always better.
Ah!
Yep.
Every time.
All right,
That's
guys.
because he's talking about a threesome. Jesus fucking Christ.
I wasn't even going there. Was not even going there.
Obviously, it was obvious.
No, 3 shots is better than 2 shots.
Yep.
3 drinks is better than 2 drinks.
2 in the chest,
2
1 in the head.
episodes
chest,
a
1 in the
week.
head, that
2
equals 3.
episodes a week. 2
Practice,
episodes
right?
a week.
Yep.
You know, when
You have 2 balls. Therefore, 2 episodes a week.
2 balls and a dick.
Okay. Do you though?
You don't have any of those. That's 3 things.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, mine are probably in my wife's purse. So
Ah, that's where they belong.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Goodbye.